Hey team, today we are working on how to stretch and strengthen at our wrist. You will need one small stick for today's movements. And as always, if you find this information useful, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. So we will start with strengthening the wrist from an isometric standpoint. We are going to grab our small stick with our palms facing up, so supine grip. As we get started, the closer you are to the midline, the easier this initial movement becomes. The further you are or closer you are towards the end of the stick, the more challenging the movement becomes. So it gives you an opportunity to kind of decide how you feel for that day and how much strengthening you need for that moment. So I'll show you a quick example of what we're going to do compensation wise. So as we release if I release my left hand, what I want to do is try to keep that right or keep the stick as parallel to the floor as possible. So I don't want to let the stick drop. So if the stick is dropping, then think about moving the hands in closer where maybe it's a little bit easier or more accessible for you to keep the stick parallel to the floor. Also at the same time, sometimes people will go at the end and they really fight. They laterally flex at the spine in order to try to keep it even. So we also want to stay in a nice upright position. So we'll start with the right hand since I already started with that. So I'm going to release the tension, and I'm going to hold this position. Oh, before I keep going, sorry. I want to make sure that my wrist, as much as possible, stays neutral. So I do not want to flex currently or extend. I want to keep it as neutral as possible as I hold this position, and also maintain all your fingers on the stick as well. So I'm going to release the tension or release the assist from my left hand, and I'm going to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I'm going to slowly start to pronate. So I'm actively engaging. I'm not just letting it drop. I'm actively engaging the rotation at the wrist to the point where I'm going to straighten my arm. And now my hand is feasibly by my pocket if you have a pocket. And the stick is upright. I'm going to take my free hand, my left hand, and I'm going to grab the top or the other end of the stick. From here, I'm going to begin stretching the wrist by pulling the stick across the midline of the body. And this helps, again, stretch the wrist and the tissues around the forearms. And generally what we're going to do is you're going to pull as far as you comfortably can, maintaining contact with all fingers on the stick. And we're generally going to hold this position for about 20 seconds. So I'm going to riff for a little bit. I also want to make sure that my right arms, because my right wrist is being stretched, right wrist and forearm, I want to make sure that that right elbow stays as straight as possible as well. So I don't want to flex at the wrist. I want to make sure that I stay extended at the wrist. Now that we are at about 20 seconds, from here, while continuing to stretch, I want to also add on some strengthening. And so now I'm going to actively pull the stick apart about 40% of my maximum tension. And you're going to hold that position for about 3 to 5 seconds. And then we are going to shorten the stick. So try to push the stick together. Same thing, holding for 3 to 5 seconds. For today's video, we're just going to do 3 each direction. So now for the second one, I'm pulling apart for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now I'm shortening the stick, bringing it together for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one each. Pull apart for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And shorten the stick as much as you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, to progress this movement even further, now with my left wrist that is currently neutral, I'm going to begin to flex the wrist. So when I flex the wrist, what happens is I get more stretch. Sorry, my hand's a little slippery, out of that wrist and forearm. Now, same thing as before. I'm going to hold this position to get the tissues prepared for this movement for about 20 to 30 seconds. Depending on how much time you have, you can hold for 2 to 3 minutes as well to get a really good stretch out of it. It's not as comfortable if you have tight wrists and forearms. And another thing is if you have like really hypermobile wrists, so say like feasibly you're able to bring the stick closer down to your hips, You may not get the passive stretch out of this, but you will get the active strengthening by pushing and pulling the stick together, and that helps again with strengthening at those in ranges of motion. So while that left wrist is flexed, now we are going to go through pulling the stick apart, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and shorten the stick for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull the stick apart for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and shorten the stick for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one each. Pull the stick apart. Again, 40% of your maximum tension. Holding for another 3, 2, 1, and shorten the stick. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now I'm going to uncurl that left wrist. I'm going to bring the stick back to starting position. Slowly, I'm going to wrap back around. And voila. So if you need to, go ahead and take a second. I know I need to. And we are going to do the other side. I'll show you from the side from the beginning. So again, the compensation that we are looking for is we want to make sure that we're not laterally flexing or letting the stick drop. We want to maintain as much of that parallel to the floor and hold for 10, 9 with the neutral wrist, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin to rotate. I'm going to turn back around so I do not hit the wall. Pronate. Hand is down by the pocket. Right hand comes across. And now I'm going to pull as much as I comfortably can. My left wrist is not as tight as my right. Now from here, I'm holding this passive stretch for 20 seconds. So nice, smooth, deep breaths. Get a good feel. As you get more comfortable, you can try to pull a little bit more. If not, just back off. Listen to your body. Feel what you can. Make sure that you're able to maintain all fingers on the stick as well. So again, if I'm pulling to the point where my fingers are coming off, I've gone too far. So I want to make sure I have a nice firm grip. Pull across. Now from here, since it's been about 20 seconds, I actively pull the stick apart for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shorten the stick for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull the stick apart for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And shorten the stick for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The last one each. So I have to adjust my hands. It's hot here in Phoenix, Arizona. As always, pull the stick apart so my hands are sliding a little bit. 4, 3, 2, 1, and shorten the stick. But I'm not complaining. I love the heat. 4, 3, 2, 1. And now from here, we're going to progress. So I'm going to flex that right wrist as much as I can to add more stretch. Again, I'm holding this same position. Because it's a progression, we want to give the tissues time to adapt and realize what's happening. So we're holding this position as well for about 20 seconds for today. Again, depending on how much time you have, you can go 30 seconds, you can go 2 to 3 minutes, depending on how you feel. So my garage door is open and a neighbor's dog is barking. It is what it is. So now from here, we're going to pull the stick apart for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shorten the stick for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull the stick apart for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And shorten the stick for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one each. Working on that isometric strengthening at that end range of motion. Keep pulling apart for another 3, 2, 1. And now last one, isometric strengthening, shortening that stick for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the curl off of the wrist. Bring the hand back across the body and unwind back into the starting position. Ta-da. We did it. Thank you. If you watched it all the way through, I appreciate it. Hopefully, again, you learned something. And if you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Have a good one.